This video is going to help you if you're an introvert and you feel a certain degree of social anxiety in your life. According to Adlerium psychology, during our childhood we develop a certain lifestyle. This is what Alfred Adler called it, a lifestyle. And our lifestyle that we developed back then is essentially a set of beliefs, of behaviors, of the way we think, the mechanism of our thoughts, and our overall personality. And we develop that on autopilot as a child because we want to get out of that state of feeling inferior. But being a child, our brains are not developed that much yet, and we don't take the wisest decisions, obviously. We just take the decisions that we believe will get us the results we want. I believe this lifestyle includes the entire spectrum of the MBTI personality test. Like, your personality, the way you will behave for the rest of your life is determined by that choice, that automatic choice that you make when you are very, very young. And that originates because when you are born, you are small and helpless, and your brain, as a survival instinct, tells you to get big and strong, to be able to be independent, to be able to survive, to be able to thrive in the world. As a result, you do anything that will get you the outcome or that will get you close to becoming that. And this lifestyle, as I said, is the way you will tend to behave for the rest of your life, the way you will tend to think about life, the way you will view life forever. So just imagine like you have a playing ground, and normally, or what you might believe so far, is that you can just walk in any direction you want freely. But with this lifestyle in mind, our ground is inclined, and you will always be drawn by a force that's an invisible force, just like gravity, right? You will just be drawn in that side in which it is inclined. And that's your lifestyle pulling you towards acting in accordance to the beliefs and the chosen behavior of that 3-year-old child. And here I'm getting to the point I wanted to make in this video, which is that you take decisions, you behave in accordance to what a 3-year-old tells you to do. Like, think about it. If you came in this room and you had to meet me, for example, and you had to handshake me and okay, we get to know each other. And before that, a 3-year-old child comes and tells you that, okay, when you're gonna handshake him, you're gonna act weirdly and look all over the place and act like you're so scared of the situation. Would you do that? No, you would not do that because that's stupid. Why would you listen to a 3-year-old? Well, that's as stupid as listening to that 3-year-old that you are currently listening, which is your version of that 3-year-old. So you see how messed up this is? Because look, if you would think about the situation, if you would judge every single situation with your 20 to 30 something year old brain, then you would not act like you currently do act. And I mean the neocortex, not the lizard brain, right? Because if you would judge with your neocortex, with your developed part of your brain, with the brain that, you know, all those studies that we only use 10% of our brains and whatnot, like that 10% is the neocortex, the developed part, the part that allows us to go on and think about stuff, essentially, that separates us from animals. Like, if you judge the situation with that brain, then it doesn't make sense for you to have the social anxiety, because you just think about it logically. What do I get? What do I gain from this situation? What do I gain from acting like this? What do I gain from breaking down and shouting at everyone? What do I gain from anger? What do I gain from being so upset about someone, about something? You gain nothing. But the issue is that you don't really use that part of your brain when you do this. What you use is your lizard brain, which is just the automatic part of your brain. It's the instinctive part of your brain. There is this analogy which I heard in one of Julien Blanc's videos, which is that when you get triggered, you act inappropriate to reality. So for example, let's take the social anxiety that I was talking about before. So if you are in a social situation and you sense your social anxiety coming up, you sense like you are being triggered, right? You feel triggered, and you tend to act in a hyper-aware manner and in a very defensive manner, and you're just uncomfortable in that situation. Well, maybe that situation is not the most comfortable situation you could be in, But it's not appropriate for you to react as if maybe a lion is hunting you. Imagine this as your current response, like a line between my hands, right? And this is your triggered response, but the normal response would be like this if you had no triggers, if you had no social anxiety. Okay, maybe the situation would provoke a bit of anxiety, but it would be very small, not that big. And the rest of it, the maybe 95% of it, is what we want to get rid of because it's useless. It's the decision of a 3-year-old, and we are adults now. We don't think like that. Why would we? We have a developed brain, and we are able to take decisions with this brain. So let's do that. I know I'm saying this as it would be something easy, something that you can just do automatically, quickly, and get rid of it, but it's not. It's very, very tough. Because even if you become aware of all the patterns and of all the situations in which you misbehave, there are still plenty of situations that we are not even aware of. So it takes years of relentless work and of having the intention to change and of working on yourself. But it's worth it. So the first step is to commit to the journey. Take the decision that you will commit to this journey of changing yourself, of not obeying the 3-year-old anymore. Identify what you can currently identify and start working on that, and then just iterate and become better and better and better. This is a lifelong journey. And then start viewing situations from an objective perspective. So take a step back every single time. Get into the habit of taking a step back, zooming out, and trying to put yourself in other people's shoes in a way. Or just view the situation from a third person perspective. Is it really that bad? Will it change the course of your life? Is it that important of a decision? Because it's probably not. Most of decisions are not that important. Most situations are not that threatening. The environment we live in is not that hostile most of the places. And upon questioning that behavior, you realize that you don't have to act like that. You did so far, but you don't have to act like that anymore. Take the courage to do that and start taking small and consistent steps towards this, and you will eventually become free.